Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to what promises to be yet another interesting webinar session. Today, we're looking at the topic, when depression resumes for duty. And in the light of the recent pandemic across the continents of the world, and also in our own dear Nigeria, with 51 confirmed cases of the coronavirus, we're going to be looking at this topic in a very slightly different angle. The topic of discourse will be handled within the context of COVID-19 as a potential trigger for mental health issues. We'll also be looking at how the COVID-19 situation is causing stress or can cause stress, anxiety, fear, depression, and other emotional issues. To take us on this journey today is Dr. Maimouna Kadri, the founder of Pinnacle Medical Services, who is also the founder of Speak Out Initiative, a non-for-profit organization. She's the host of the Physicians NG, a TV show about physicians for everyone. And she's the convener of the Mental Wellness Virtual Summit. Madam, thank you for joining us this afternoon.
I must say at this point in time, if the Yoruba-speaking people want to say anything, they say "eku sitting at home," because it's practically inevitable as it is right now that people are likely going to be shut down just to curtail whatever we are going to be doing. Why is that important? It's because of the spread, and it's because those people that are moving around, some of them are healthy carriers, and we do not want a situation where it take care of. So I'm not here to scare anyone, so let us go by that. I am here, as I've been introduced to everyone, I'm here to preach hope. I'm here to tell each and every one of us we are in it together. But we do understand that together we are stronger when we do the right thing. And at the end of the day, we are going to look back to this year, 2020, and start telling ourselves, what exactly really happened in the first quarter of 2020? How did it happen that we survived this? There will be films that will start showing regarding COVID-19. And those of us that are alive after this program, after this whole pandemic, we start questioning why the film did not really depict exactly what it was. We start functioning all the loopholes on is that the first 1 or 2 weeks of this whole pandemic, we were celebrating, even the World Health Organization celebrated us because we had only one case. But we need to realize that this virus does not move. People move. And people move, and they move the virus. So that is why it is staying at home and ensuring that everybody is safe is very key. So on the topic of today is supposed to be on when depression resumes for duty. But of course, we are going to wrap it around the pandemic of the COVID-19. Why would people even have issues with their mental health when it comes to a problem like this? Remember, COVID-19 is no longer a Nigerian, in fact, it's not a Nigerian thing. It's a global issue. We were not this main source. It started in Wuhan in China, but right now we do have 51 confirmed. More than that, I will not know because the NCDC dishes out statistics in almost per second. But we are aware about our physical health, but a lot of us are not going to be able to understand why some people will have some mental health challenges. And let me break it down for all of us in the sense that we will be able to help ourselves we'll be able to help our loved ones. And of course, this help can transcend into the society for people to also know how to help themselves. If I'm not mistaken, most of us are on a particular social media platform, which is the WhatsApp, one of the most toxic platform anyone can be. And that is one platform we can easily get ourselves mentally unstable. In fact, some people have had PhD on the streets of WhatsApp from all the messages, broadcast, fake news, unverified news, even despite when the World Health Organization has even put out their own WhatsApp number for us to get verified information. But no, people are still doing a whole lot of, this is what is happening, take lemon and add this substance to it. We do not want to come to a point where it was like how it happened during the Ebola, where people had to take their bath with socks. People died. I can tell you categorically, people bled to death. People that have stopped their menstrual period, their period resumed. People were bleeding through the orifices. What do I mean by people were bleeding? So please, we do not want to get to that stage where things will get out of hands. And the reason why some of us are going to have mental health challenges is because if there's a lockdown, there's going to be self-quarantine. And that self-quarantine will be at least minimum of 2 weeks, which is not what some of us ordinarily are used to. We are not used to self-quarantine. We are not used to, some of us are not used to staying in one place. We are all around, running around, jumping, may not necessarily be jumping, but doing something that either productive, not productive. But I keep telling people, activity is not productivity. This is the time for us to not really want it. So that self-quarantine is one thing that can really make people to become unstable. Some of us are not prepared for this. Why am I saying so? We don't have enough money. Some people don't have good housing environment to be able to stay in that same place. Some are in that same environment. Some of us are in a toxic environment. What do I mean by being in a toxic environment? Some people's homes, in quote, are houses. They are not homes. So when they go to those homes, they are houses to them because the environment is toxic and hostile. The people around them are not welcoming and the environment is not conducive. Why some people, this environment is going to make them, this staying at home is going to make them to realize certain things they may not have known about themselves. Some are going to discover some new things about their spouses they don't know anything about. Some are even going to discover new habits and behaviors your children have been exhibiting that you do not know that they have been exhibiting over time. Because now you are at home, you are going to pay attention to certain things and you will not understand why these things are happening to you. So I've just given us instances why some certain things may happen that will affect our mental health. But again, let us go to what is mental health. Mental health is that ability for an individual to realize his or her full potentials in life, so that number one, that person is able to realize his or her full potentials. 2, the person has the ability to work productively and fruitfully. 3, the person has the ability to be able to deal with the day-to-day stressors of life. And lastly, the ability to give back to the society. And so before you can say somebody is mentally stable, you should look at these 4 things I picked out. Realizing your potentials in life, ability to deal with the day-to-day stressors, ability to work productively and fruitfully, and ability to give back to the society. This just means that it's an ability. It doesn't mean it's a must. It means that if you don't have the ability, can you find a way to make it happen for you? So before we can now go into who has good mental health and who doesn't have good mental health. And I keep saying the absence of mental symptoms does not mean that you don't have a mental disorder. Some people have some toxic personality traits, but they do not have a personality disorder. but you just understand that this person is not just the right fit. You are not comfortable in that person's zone. But when you narrow it down to the different aspects of mental health, depression is almost the top on the rank. Why did I say almost? Because depression and anxiety take the same number on that ranking. Anxiety and depression worldwide is known to affect people and is known to be the topmost. And at this point in time, in a pandemic period, we are likely going to see people or even experience people going through emotional challenges because of just the fear and the panic, and the fake unverified news is just enough to knock anybody down, down his or her feet. So that is why it is very important for us to understand how to keep our mental health, guard our sanity with all what we have, so that we will not fall victims. But we shouldn't rule out the fact that we have people that are already vulnerable. There are people that are already like what we call sitting on the fence. Any little push, they are on the other side of it, which means they can easily break down to have a mental illness. And who are these people? As you are listening or as you have logged in, quickly do a quick check on yourself to find out if you're already vulnerable. And of course, follow what I want to let you know, how to deal with certain things so that you do not cross that thin line. Because it's a thin line. First, we have what we call predisposing factors. What do these mean? They are generally what you as a human being, what you went through as a child. Some things you were not aware of. Most things, it wasn't your fault. In fact, a lot were not within your control. Because as a child, you are under the care, whoever has been designated to look after you. So one thing first is a family history of anyone mental illness. So if you already have a family history, uncle, auntie, grandfather, grandmother, somebody in the family who has had a mental illness, it means you are likely to have, because mental illnesses are genetic, like most medical conditions. That is number one. The second vulnerability risk factor that you should also look at is if you came from a home where there was domestic violence, that mom always fighting like Tom and Jerry, cat and rats, breaking things, fight, they don't see eye to eye. And now as an adult, you are like, what really used to make them fight that way? Is it that they couldn't just help being in the same space? If you came from a family like that, you are also vulnerable. A third risk predisposing factor is if you came from a family where there's a divorce, dad has left mom, mom has left dad, that is another vulnerability risk factor. Obviously, somebody else will have helped in either your mom or your dad in bringing you up, or maybe your single mom brought you up, and there's a role of a father and there's a role of a mother in everybody's life. We need to understand that there are basic gender differences and roles that everybody must play in the life of a child. So that is another risk factor. If you also came from a family whereby you were exposed to certain things that would have happened to you without you being in control, what is that? Child sexual abuse. Some people have been sexually abused. They didn't find closure. They did not know how to deal with it. But, there was that hush, don't say anything. They just, in fact, some people, their parents never even knew. It's now that you're an adult, you can have those flashbacks, and you may even be dealing with post-traumatic stress disorder because you still know the person who did it, the perpetrator is still alive and is still there, like roaming the street, hasn't been arrested and banished into a jail and the kid thrown away. So all that anger and bitterness is still in you. So that is the fourth one. But as I go on, you'll find out there are more of other issues that can make you to be predisposed. But these ones are the basic ones. In fact, if you want to look at it, most of us fall into this predisposing factor. For example, the genetic risk factor. Some of us don't even know the full history of our family tree. We don't know relatives that were having challenges before. But somehow, when you think back, there was that one person in your compound in the village who wasn't doing anything who will be hitting children, sending them messages, making them feel as if this uncle, why is it not working? Now you are thinking back, I'm sure now you are thinking, oh, that was one uncle that wasn't working. Why wasn't he working? It may be the kind of people that have what we call paranoid schizophrenia with a motivational syndrome. They are not working, they are not productive, but they are not violent, they are not disturbing anybody. In fact, some of them are very neat, they dress up well, they go out, they interact, they come back home, but they are just not productive. So, but these vulnerability risk factors, they are just part of what can make you at risk. But we do understand there are what we call triggers. And triggers are the things that now happen that can precipitate us to now have a mental breakdown. What can be a trigger? COVID-19 pandemic. This is not what anybody was ever expecting at this point in time. When the news came out, we were still thinking, oh no, this is one thing that it is Chinese people that are eating all manner of rubbish, snakes and frogs and all manner of things. It won't come to us because truly it didn't originate from Africa. But now it has dawned on us that this is a world pandemic, hoping that it's not going to have a major outbreak that will start running helter-skelter. But now we are already at confirmed case 51 in Nigeria. But this, I'm not here to talk about what the government should do or what government shouldn't do. I'm not here because I don't want to roll out what will make us to be scared of situations where, if anything, if this escalates, we will not be able to deal with it. No, I'm here to preach hope, and that is why I'm here. So triggers are things like COVID-19, job dissatisfaction, relationship challenges. So you see why this is wrapped up in one. When depression resumes for duty, we are in a period where it's like a duty. Most of us that are adults are working, at least, or having a source of living somewhere, either at home, and we have the Instagram page that is helping us with our business. We have delivery people that are doing it, or we are actively having the 9 to 5. But the truth is that when depression resumes for duty, in a crisis situation like COVID-19, it's difficult for you to, number one, even access help because of this social and physical distancing we are doing. Even the hospitals, yes, we are essential services, but only few may be open for emergency situation. They may not be able to take in inpatient because even the staff may be looking at, no, I want to be safe at home. I don't want to get myself involved in this. But the truth is that when you look at those triggers and you ask yourself, do I fall into any of these? Have I been predisposed? Am I on defense? Do I have any current trigger? Current trigger like having issues with job dissatisfaction, unemployed, underemployed, or issues with the COVID-19. But again, we are in Nigeria, and I'm not going to shy away from this. Financial issues, another trigger. If we are asked to stay at home now, everybody that is online logged in, how many of us can boast our issue we are not looking into? Is the government ready to provide for us 24/7, like at least to help us deal with our mental status so that we won't be bored and start talking to trees and, talking to mirrors and doing some silly things? As it is right now, I had a call, so let me just do a little diversion. I had a call last time when I was preparing for this webinar, and a man, this is from a man, and he said, are you Dr. Kadiri? I said, yes. He said, okay, we are doing self-quarantine now. Most of us, our offices have closed down, and my wife before now, since last year, has been telling me that we need therapy, but I didn't see any reason that we will need therapy. But just 2 days in the house with her, I strongly want a therapy session like right now. I said, sir, can you just relax? Let us talk this Let me know what the angle you're coming from. I don't like the fact that she's in my space. I'm in her space. I'm just tired. She's not doing this right. She's not doing that right. She's annoying me. She did not give me the right food. When I'm in the office, I get the right meal. I know where I buy my food stuff for. But now, restaurants are going to be shut down. Who is currently in this particular situation? The truth is that if there's a law for those that are married, you will start noticing them. For those that are single, you might not have known in your children, you start noticing them. For those that are not even married at all, if you have to live alone, that means you are looking for a place to make sure that you have good life, you have data to communicate, you have friends you can log in online to discuss it, because it's going to be very boring. I can tell you for free, we all know that. It's going to be very boring and it's tiring. Because if government shuts down and there are military people on the street, as we're talking with, no, it will just be the people that you are working together in the same environment. So we need to prepare ourselves mentally on what.
We seem to have lost Dr. Maimuna there, but while she's trying to reconnect, very quickly, I just want to take us on the ground rules that we haven't taken before. Please, we would not be sharing slides, as in the course of the discussion already, we can see that no slides are being used. So at the end of this conversation, there would be no slides to be sent out to participants. We therefore urge you to listen attentively. Furthermore, we will be giving opportunities to a few persons to dial in and be heard. We want to hear from you. We don't want it to be a one-sided conversation. We then ask that you signify your interest using the show of hand button on your interface. Also, we would like to urge us, even though we are doing that, we would like to urge us to please turn off our microphones to reduce background noises. Send in your questions and answers for those who might not be able to dial in. Please send in your questions using the Q&A button. At this point, while we're still waiting for her to reconnect, if you have anybody in the house who has something to say, can you please signify by a show of hands so that we can put you on air? Anybody? Okay. Mrs. Olubusola Abidakun. Yes, you're allowed. Please go ahead. Hello, madam. Can you hear us?
Okay. Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Yes, today is stay home day one.
Yes.
And then just Dr. Maimuna said, just today, I think this is just a few minutes past 1, I've received nothing less than 5 calls from colleagues that, in fact, they don't want to be home with their spouses. And I'm like shocked that what happened? Was she not your friend? Was he not your friend? Why did you marry? You've been married for years with children. Why just day one, you people at each other's throats? So with what Dr. Kadri is saying now, is that another sign of a futuristic mental breakdown? Or I really get it. I told 2 of them that, 2 of my friends are, then you stay in your room and be reading and let your husband take charge of the sitting room. You know what? With what Dr. Kadri said, I'm really worried that is it that the family tree or thread is breaking down? Thank you.
Thank you so much for the contribution, Mark. Thank you. Anybody else wants to share something? Okay, Nkechi. Oh, we seem to have lost Nkechi there. Anybody else? Okay, Nkechi, you're back. Yes, the floor is yours. Please go ahead. Hello, Nkechi, can you hear us? Okay, while we wait for Nkechi to connect back, I would be allowing Mrs. Titilayo Akisoya to join us. Hello, ma. Good afternoon.
Hi, how are you? Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you, ma.
Thank you. One of the things, so the topic is quite welcome and timely, when depression resumes for duty. So whether it's a lockdown or whatever we want to call it, we're copying the Western world. And my question is, looking at our reality here, staying at home poses different challenges to individuals. It means that man or woman who would normally have eaten his 1 meal a day, like 3 meals a day in the office cafeteria, now stays at home, right? Staying at home means for some people, the living conditions and environments are not the most hygienic. So doesn't the stay at home heighten the depression rate, as in we're being forced to face realities? Like Busola said earlier, husbands and wives, spouses, whatever, your escape route was you all leave for work. And by the time you all come back, you're all tired to face the realities of your insecurities. So how would we address that? Hello. So how would we address that in the light of all these things not adding to depression?
Thank you so much, ma. Yes. Thank you so much for your contribution, ma. That was Mrs. Titilayo Akisoya, the Vice President of the Chartered Institute of Personnel Management. Thank you so much, ma.
We will also be very aware of as a trigger when it comes to managing our mental well-being while being at home. The truth is that despite maybe hard network misbehaving on me, it happens, but it just for me to keep my emotions under wrap and knowing fully well that there are some certain things that, yes, you may have wrap around you, but things can escalate and just make it, make you feel as if you didn't prepare well. But I wasn't freaking out. I wasn't panicking. I just knew that, yes, something was going to, I'm going to get back online fast. So I think there was a question that was asked by Mrs. Akisanya. I didn't get the full question again. If it's possible for me to have that question reread back to me, I will be able to do that. Thank you, ma'am.
Okay. Hi, Mamuna. Can you hear me?
Yes, please, ma'am.
Okay.
I can hear you very well.
Thank you very much. This topic is very apt. So when depression resumes for duty, and I'm saying this lockdown, yes, it may have its gains, but I want to say in our own environment, the downsides outweigh the gains. I look at the average mother or father who looks to eating their 1 meal a day in the office cafeteria. And the 1 meal a day in the office cafeteria serves as the 3 meals a day. And in fact, eating that 1 meal a day is a savings to the household. But now this woman or man is forced to stay at home. That causes depression on its own side. Looking at that extra mouth the woman has to feed. Busola talked about spouses not being able to stand each other. Yeah, because everybody leaves home early, and by the time you all come back, you're too tired to face the realities of a broken marriage or challenges within your relationship, right? The third thing is the fact that in some environments where some of our staff or the average Nigerian, where they stay, 9 people in a room. So this forced stay at home, isn't it adding more to the pandemic, where because of the unhygienic factors, environment, and Yes, we would only spend about 7 hours or 9 hours staying in a room where there are 9 people, but now 24 hours, we're all within that cramped environment. Isn't that adding to the depression and the hygiene factors of the spread of COVID? Thank you, Maimuna.
Thank you very much, ma'am. I'm very happy you asking very, very pertinent questions. Truly, these are the things that we are not looking into, and that is where I keep telling people we are doing a lot of surface thing, looking for ventilators, looking for face masks, people are wearing hand gloves, people are going to stay at home. But who is looking at those other things that are not glaring, they are not obvious, they are not written on our faces? Like 9 in a room, I can bet you most HRs in any organization, you cannot know all your other colleagues that are maybe sometimes 200, 1,000. You do not even have an idea. Even those that have Starbucks is going to tell a whole lot. Poverty in the number cannot practice. So 9 people cannot do that, because in one room, where are they all going to stay? In that one room, those 9 people, father and mother, they have gone to work. 5, 6 children, they have gone to different schools. The younger ones, maybe they are busy selling one thing with the mother who is in maybe our own work is by the roadside. By the time everybody resumes back home, it's going to be first come, first serve. Maybe 2, 3 will sleep inside the room, the rest will scatter around the compound, or some even go to friends' houses. But now it's day your day. It's now more like a day something. Everybody is on their own. So you cannot come to my house, even if we are neighbors. Stay in your house. Let me stay in my house. I don't know who you have spoken to. I don't know who you have shook hands with. I don't know your travel history. So that's number one. Is likely going to increase more mental health cases. Feeding at work, which is another very, very vital statement to make. Some people, that is their 3 square meal. So they go to work empty. That lunch 12 to 2, where they have that food to eat in the cafeteria, they are eating to their satisfaction, knowing fully where is till tomorrow. Now there is not going to be any meal. How are they going to feed? Let's not forget, I deliberately didn't add poverty to predisposing factor, because that is like a norm in Nigeria. Poverty is staring at our faces. So these people, how are they going to look at one another, be in the same house? They are not feeding. You are telling them they cannot go anywhere. And maybe sadly, they are not part of essential services whereby they can, help to get something to themselves. And of course, marriages, whether it was a rumor or it was just by people just feeling they need to say something online, they discovered that yes, in China, when this Wuhan thing came up, there are a lot of people that filed in for divorce. Could it be our case here in Nigeria? Possibility is there, because in a lot of people, their offices are their homes. The moment they start going back home, which is supposed to be the home you tell them in the office, they are going back to a house. Toxic relationship, hostile environment. Now they are made to face one another and sit down in that home. I'm not a prophet of doom, and like I said at the earlier on when we started this talk, I said I am here to preach hope. I am here to give hope to people, because if I start rolling out the statistics of what could happen by just observation of what may happen towards some to lose some staff automatically. The fact that when you say of the office, they live in uncompleted buildings. And if they say there are issues that can lead to an increase sorry, I don't know what's happening again, but thank God I'm back on again. So the truth is that we are likely going to have a whole lot of challenges after this. We are likely going to have a whole lot of issues that will span from this problem, because depression as it is right now in Nigeria is 1 out of every 5 living Nigeria. 1 out of every 5 living Nigeria is currently living with depression. It's possibility of us having more after this whole lockdown and pandemic period is the likelihood is very high. So, but we are not going to sit down and say every Nigerian is not depressed. No, you may be having the mild symptoms, just like COVID-19. We have a high recovery rate. So not all cases of depression will definitely need medication. No, not all. But of course, I will quickly at this point in time even roll out the symptoms that we should look out for, should in case you are having any challenge, just the way we have the symptoms rolled out by World Health Organization, NCDC, when you have cough, if the cough is dry cough, if you have high fever, more than 37.5, if you have other symptoms that, that are flu-like, then please call their helplines. These are the symptoms you should look out for, should in case you start feeling not yourself, feeling uneasy, feeling I'm unhappy, when there is persistent sadness. So now in a way, the lockdown is in 14 days, which is like the incubation period for also COVID-19. In a way, it aligns with the symptoms of depression, because we don't make a diagnosis of depression with just sadness alone. It must be sadness that is for a minimum of 2 weeks. So if for any reason you are not even sad at all, now they are asking us to sit down at home for 2 weeks. If your sadness has persisted throughout the 14 days that you are asked to be at home, then there's a problem. It's no longer just sadness because you are in isolation or you are doing self-quarantine. No, there is a problem. But it's not only sadness that makes up the diagnosis. Sadness and loss of interest ordinarily things you love to do. So for example, we all go to work, we come back home, we cook, we have our bath. So one of the things you should really look out for, because now they may not be work like really work, you may be working remotely, is neglect of personal hygiene. Is change in your eating or sleeping habit. Is that like for the people around you? If you have children, if you are no longer in tune with them, there's that disconnect. That may be an issue. Another third one, which is also very common, is which I mentioned earlier on, is the change in the sleeping pattern. Like I said earlier on, most of us will not have 24 hours light, because if they are asked to shut down everything, what about the filling station? Like yesterday, I was looking for cooking gas. I called a lot of the gas stations around me, bring cooking gas. I had to, in fact, the moment I got one person who was ready to supply, it's dangerous, but I had to do the bigger cylinder, the smaller 12.5, just because I don't know where we are heading. And of course, letting everybody know in my essay to please, everybody go get, if that is what you are doing, get it done. But again, we must take precautions about that, because we know that gas explosion, people dying from that is also very real. You must make sure your gas cylinder is outside your kitchen. So people need to know that, because the accidents that may occur just from sitting down may even overwhelm the pandemic itself. So sleeping pattern may change, even eating habit pattern will also change. So, but then we are not saying that it's just a day or two. But if it lasts for like 14 days, you are already getting depressed. But you may not just know the level of your depression, because depression comes in mild, moderate, and in severe form. It's for you to be able to reach out to your doctor. And that is why essential services will not shut down, because it may just be very fast for you to reach out and say, look, I'm having this symptom, this. and it has been for this duration. Could I be depressed? What do I need to do? You may just need therapy or counseling, just for somebody to alleviate your fears and let you know that, look, being in one place is also like incarceration. It's also like synonymous with imprisonment. It can also lead to mental related challenges. But just that person letting you know that you are not in it alone. We are all in it together. We just be that one person telling you what to do and how to do it. Okay, can you change your environment and maybe change your room? Can you do new bed sheets, bring out new sheets? Can you change the bulb in your room? Not just those small changes. Maybe you were eating pepperless before. It's okay. Can you add some spices to your food? And you may, maybe those are not even the challenges. It may just be the fact that you are in the same house with your spouse, and this is somebody who you didn't really know before. Maybe when he sleeps, it's not so deeply. But because you work, when you come back home, you're so tired. So when you sleep off, you don't mind the snoring because you are too tired. But now it's like as if there's a caterpillar in your bedroom and your spouse snores like there's going to be an earthquake. And you are not really having good sleep. That will get you even on the edge. And one common gateway to any emotional breakdown is poor or lack of sleep. Because sleep can be in different phases. We cannot just say because you are not sleeping well. We will ask you, is it difficulty to initiate sleep or difficulty to sustain sleep? So some people may have those terrible sleep patterns. So I will advocate that HRs, this is the time for us to really reach out to, colleagues working remotely, having group discussions like this from time to time, having somebody to get every other person on board to ask them how they are doing, how things are generally, how everybody is faring. It can just be with a wave of hand, how are you doing? But the truth is, we are all in remote places, so people can just tell you they are fine, meanwhile they are suicidal. And you may find out that by the time we all resume back to work, some colleagues have actually ended their lives because of these precarious situations they are in, and there was nothing to help them. So truly, we are not really prepared for this. We are not prepared for this in all ramifications, whether in physical health or whether in our mental health. Because a lot of organizations also do not have the employees assistance program, which is a good support system to help your employees at this point in time. What does that help your employee to do? They have a safe space where they can call therapists on the other line that is professional, that is synonymous with confidentiality, that they can decluster their mind, they can unburden their mind to these people without you bothered about what is happening. The only thing, if you are the HR head, that there will be the number of people that called for that month. These are the kind of services that should be deployed to every organization so that it takes away that stress from you as the HR to be checking up on people. The only thing you can do for them at this point in time is just keep reminding them of the helplines that the organization has put in place, and of course, the face-to-face therapy. And face-to-face now, because we are essential services, people can still come into the organization, but of course with social distancing. And if you are even scared of coming in, this is a beautiful way of communicating. Telemedicine has come to stay, leveraging on technology. So these are some of the things, for me, I strongly believe when I said I'm here to preach hope, we should really deploy. This is a period whereby we should have a routine into efficiency innovation within our organization. A lot of us are open to radical innovation, but there's efficiency innovation, and deploying employees assistance program for your employees is very, very key. If you are not already doing that, is one way you should please assist your workers. I know a lot of organizations are paid salaries now, which is a good thing so that they can stock up their house. But how many organizations have deployed a safe space for their employees if they are head-to-head with their other family members at home, if they're dealing with a difficult child who they have just realized is doing drugs, and because we are all locked into the same house and nobody can go home, the child started exhibiting withdrawal symptoms because him or her is no longer getting the substance of abuse that he or she used to abuse. These are the things we should be looking out for. How do they now get help? How do families who are dealing with challenges, where do they now go to? Who should they speak to? Even the pastors are blocking down. Stay in their houses if we have a total lockdown. But of course, we know that total lockdown is not even, to an extent, may not be feasible. But the truth is that we will be made to sit down at home. My staff coming to the workplace now, a lot of them are having challenges with getting bus, getting this, you know, and they're also scared for their lives because we are still not, some of us have still not realized there's what we call social distancing. They're not even giving room for people to enter the bus, sit down, and another person, you know, come in, the way it was happening during the Ebola. But hey, like I said, I'm here to preach hope. I'm here to help us alleviate our fears in dealing with the challenges that we are going to be dealing with. But first thing, you should understand when there's a lockdown, or first thing you should understand when you have to self-quarantine is you must have a routine. Don't just say, now that I'm at home, let me do whatever I like. No. For those that have children, a routine must also be designed for them, because you will definitely have serious conflicts with you waking up early because you're already used to that, your brain is already wired, and your children are still there snoring, they are not helping you. Some of us, our staff, like the domestic staff, we send them away. The driver, stay in your own house. I'm not going anywhere. I'm not traveling anywhere. Land and sea borders have been shut down. So why should you be in my house? Go. Some of us, if you have a cook and this cook is not ready to stay with you for the next 1 month until these issues are being dealt with, it's the best time to tell the cook to go. Because you cannot have a cook who stays somewhere else, then comes back to your house after a weekend off, but you do not know who she has spoken with or who he has met and all that. So please, these are the times that they are trying period, and we must take responsibility. In fact, that is the hashtag for NCDC. We must take responsibility for our own lives, for our own safety. So please, routine is very good. And then, of course, we will never overemphasize this. Healthy eating, regular exercises, even if it's just walk around. You don't live in an estate and you live in your self-room. Movement. Don't be sedentary. Don't be a potato couch. No. Understand that COVID-19, a lot of people that die from it, some of them already have underlying medical conditions. So if for any reason you are hypertensive, you are diabetic, you have any other underlying medical condition, understand that you are more at risk than somebody who doesn't have. But we have had cases of people that didn't have, like yesterday or 2 days ago, a 21-year-old girl or young adult died in UK. She never had underlying medical condition. So the young ones are also affected. Not we have that myth that young people are not affected. It's more of the elderly. No, anyone can be affected, and some people that don't have medical conditions at all can actually have crisis. But like I was going to say before, the first time the internet lockdown, we have come out with a mnemonics for the COVID-19, which I'm going to share with CIPM, and to be able to, I will send it as an e-flyer that people can actually have and look at it. For the C, we talked about managing your mental health during COVID-19 with the mnemonics COVID-19. For the C, we want you to be able to control your actions and anxiety. And one way to do that is, some of us, the message alarming. This is the time to do delete the apps. So you are switching the end. But what having your government direct go to the malls, to the movies? So I'm happy those other places are locked down, because when school closed and those malls were closed, people were still taking their children to play centers, to movies. The droplet from flu is so very, it can affect anyone. We do understand that sometimes the droplets can stay up to 3 to 4 days in surfaces. So I'm happy that most of these other centers are now closed down. So one thing again is for the O is obey government directives to stay at home. The V is please verify all information to avoid unnecessary fear and panic. If anybody sends you any information, ask what is your source. Please, everybody should have the World Health Organization WhatsApp number. Any question, in fact, they break it down. It's so easy. It's just to type in 1, 2, 3, and the information rolls in. And even the Director General of World Health Organization said, thank you to Mark Zuckerberg, thank you to Facebook for making this happen. And as of the time they open up that line, in 2 days, over 6 million people were already using. And I can imagine now that so far a week, we may be more than 50 million. So please, that is a very good place for verifiable information. And our own Nigeria NCDC, and if you're in Lagos State, the Lagos State Ministry of Health, also Professor Akin Abayomi's Twitter handle, information there. We should follow real information, not the ones that will make us feel that the world is coming to an end. The D there is distancing socially, is the approved way of interacting. I verily believe the people I'm speaking with, or people that are online, they are people truly that understand the real meaning of social distancing. It's not the time for any party, or because we are living in the same friends and family. You don't know that that person just came back from UK or Germany or any of these other countries that already have more than 1,000 confirmed cases. Some people don't even tell you that this is where they are coming from. But the truth is that if any of you is just coming back from any place that has more than 1,000 confirmed cases, self-quarantine. Please do yourself a favor and do your community a favor. We are in this together. That is for the D. And of course, the 19, what 19 means that 19 comes before the 20th second, which is the recommended duration of seconds that the World Health Organization has said we should wash our hands. And the beauty about this is that most of us as adults, it's very easy for us to be able to wash our hands without us, feeling it as a burden or as something difficult. But for our children, most times our children don't even know how to wash their hands first. So if I'm going to do that, I'm going to use the hand sanitizer to be able to showcase that. So when you put the hand sanitizer in your hands, you rub them, your palms up very well. And when you do that, you lock your hands together, back like up to 3-4 times. The other one up to 3-4 times, and then you scrub your palm right and the other one left, and then of course lock your hands together and be able to scrub the upper part of your fingers, and then of course the thumb is somehow distant from the other fingers. Also rub it on and both right and left, and then now rub up to your wrist. Before you know what is out, if you set time, it's up to 20 seconds. But our children cannot stay that long. So this is what I have profiled for our children. Please, age-appropriate songs are very important. So I have children that age from 16 to 10. So for my 16 and 12, 13-year-old, they didn't have issues with that. For my 10-year-old, they're like, Caleb is washing my hand, it's too long. So I have a song. If you're happy and wash your hands. If you're happy and wash your hands. If you're happy and and you really want to know it. If you're happy and wash. When just set a time. It's up to 20 seconds. So that they can enjoy, if it's even a faith-based music or song, any kind of song you think that they can easily tune to. If it's the little toddlers, just look for one song that they can easily comply with. That way you will not have issues when it comes to washing your hand. Some people, they are even finding it so difficult to even control the children. What is your phone for this time around? set time. Whether it's 30 seconds or a minute or 1 hour, they should go and wash their hand. Whether they are doing anything, they are not doing anything. Oh, well, yeah, go and wash your hand. Mommy, why? Because your alarm has just said they should go and wash their hand. So just make it a habit, because truly, COVID-19 has made us to be more human again. So for me, disaster, I'm seeing it that it's helping us build kindness. It's helping us build empathy, whereby people are checking up on other people that they don't even know, random people. It's helping us build gratitude, whereby now you wake up, you're like, thank God I'm not in isolation center, I'm not being given ventilator, I'm not in the hospital where I'm waiting, I'm under life support. That gratitude is helping us get it. Kindness is helping us build it. Empathy is helping us build it. It's even helping us to learn new vocabularies. Who knew what your social distancing before? No, that was something, that is something, even if you have said it to somebody before now, they'll tell you, please, what do you mean by social distancing? But now, everybody, you don't even know how it is spelled. So people will tell you, social distance or 2 feet, move. Is letting us know. Even it's also opening us to opportunities of doing it yourself, DIY. Some certain things that we didn't used to do, most like the ladies. A lot of us have our heads, made with woven. Most of us, some of us even have our hair packed. Now people are doing their own retouching, their own hairs and blow drying their hair. Nobody wants to go to the salon because they don't want to hear stories that touch. They don't even want to associate because you don't know the other people in the salon where they are coming from. So it's an opportunity for us to go back to those things that we were not doing before. Open up effective communication routes with your children. Help you at this point in time to start building up what your family constitution is. We have a federal government constitution. Some of us don't know what it is to have a family constitution. Put it down. Put the subsection this. If you don't wash your hand every 1 hour, you are going to be at naughty corner, or you are going to, the TV will not be on, put on for something. Build up something. This is the time to finish that your novel that you were thinking of writing before. So for me, I am not seeing this as a total disaster or something that will make us all feel, oh, the world is coming to an end. After we are just in Q1, first quarter of the year. It's as if we have experienced 10 years. Yes, it can be consuming, it can be very disturbing, and it can invoke a lot of mental uncertainties, mental illness uncertainties, but the truth is that we have to be able to control what is within our control and let go of what is not within your control. And the things that are within your control are emotions, especially if you have looked at your vulnerability risk factors. So for any woman that you are in a home where there's domestic violence and now you are asked to shut down and you believe strongly that that is not the best thing for you, this is a time for you to seek for help. Don't go and die alone and die in silence. Because now, if you die through domestic violence, your children are already given a risk factor for life. Death of one or both parents, that is a vulnerability predisposing factor. So don't give your children a vulnerability risk factor just because you don't want people to know what is wrong with you, or you don't want people to know how it is doing you. If it is doing you anyhow, shout and get help now. Because people are willing to help. Shelter homes that are available, that they believe that can help you, and they can put social distance and other preventive measures in place, they will. If you believe maybe it's your relative that may be a good place for you to go and cool off for this lockdown, do it. Don't be in a hostile environment. Don't be in a toxic relationship, so that in 14 days, if it is going to last like that, we will still see you alive, happy, and doing well. So for now, I believe we should, if there are questions we can ask questions. If there are any clarifications we can have, and so that I won't just, it's like as if I'm talking to myself. I don't know.
We assure you, Ma, that you're not talking to yourself. We're having a very great time here. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
So we had a little network challenge in the course of your breaking down the mnemonics COVID-19. So we'd just like you to run through the definitions again, or the meanings of the COVID for us once more. Hello, Ma, can you hear us? Okay, while we wait for our network to come back on, please send in your questions using the Q&A button. So it's easy for us to read out the questions. We advise that you don't use the chat link. Rather, use the Q&A. Yes. Okay, hello, Ma. Please yes, please go ahead. We can hear you now.
So I should just read that the COB ID.
COB ID 19. Yes, one more time, please.
So the C is control your actions and anxiety. The O is obey government directives to stay at home. The V is verify all information to avoid unnecessary fear and panic. The I is identify and avoid your known stressors during this season. If you don't know your stressors, you may not be able to deal with them. The D is distancing socially is the approved way of interacting. For now, that is the best way for you to be able to interact. And the 19-year means 19 is just before the 20th second. That is the recommended number of times you should wash your hands daily. So we need to wash our hands 20 to 40 seconds. So
wow.
These are the COBA. So I'm going to send you an e-flyer to that, ma'am, so I can also forward to anybody that we may want to have it as a keep.
All right, thank you so much, Ma. So just before we begin to read out your questions, if you would like to make a contribution on air, again, please signify by show of hands. I already have Yomi Oni, and I would be allowing you the opportunity to talk now, sir. Hello, Yomi, can you hear us? Good afternoon. Okay, so I think at the moment, Yomi is not available. Afsa Agbabiaka, please go ahead.
Good afternoon.
Yes, good afternoon. We can hear you.
Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you, Dr. Maimuna, for the wonderful session. The mnemonics you just shared, though I've written it in the question and answer chat room now, please, can you just help us write it out so that we can share for people? Because there's so much panic out there and so much misinformation, and people are just getting, I know some people that have hypertensives now, they would have, in fact, it's only that they are not visiting their doctors. A lot of people's BP would have raised to, in fact, God help us now. So please, can you just write out this mnemonics and let us share it? Thank you.
I'll definitely reach out to put that out immediately once I'm done here. I will. Thank you very much.
Right.
And the truth is, again, is that, hello?
Yes, go ahead. She can hear you. Go ahead.
Again, is that hypertension is a symptomless disease. So a lot of times people pick up that disorder accidentally, maybe because you had headache and you went to the hospital, then they now found out that you are hypertensive. And with all this unverified information, panic, the very learned people during the Ebola period had their back to front. So we need a lot of right information for people to stay mentally grounded at this point in time. So I would send out the right write-up to you so you can forward to everyone. Yes, ma'am.
Thank you so much, Ma. Ma, we have a question here and I'd like to read it out. It says, for those who earn daily income, what can they do to overcome panic and financial stress during this shutdown and isolation? I'd like to take it one more time just so you get it. For those who earn daily income, what can they do to overcome panic and financial stress during this shutdown or isolation?
So the thing is that I made mention of something that was very important in all of this. There are certain things that we have that are within our control, and there are certain things that are not within our control. So now, with this lockdown, it's only essential services that they are asked to only resume or be out there. Non-essential services should be. It is now time to, at this point in time, we have to tell ourselves that the world is not coming to an end. This is a phase in our life. We shouldn't look at it that because we are asked to lock down, now I don't have any money, how am I going to do it? And that is where the fear is, that this may escalate more banditry, kidnapping, and all the other social biases that we don't even want to talk about. The truth is that those people at that level may not even know or understand why we should have this kind of shutdown. So truly, more enlightenment to be able to alleviate people's fears. And so this is where government comes in. This is not a fight of you and I or anybody in this forum. This is a fight for the government also taking that responsibility and say, look, we are going to alleviate
Okay, we seem to have lost Dr. Maimuna again. Please, you can still send in your questions using the Q&A buttons. Also, we will still have time and we'll be giving a few persons opportunities to still call in and ask their questions or just give an opinion. Dr. Maimuna is not the only fountain of knowledge we have in the house, of that I'm sure. So if you have any opinions you'd like to share, please signify by a show of hands and we would allow you the opportunity to talk. Anybody? While we wait for Dr. Maimuna, we would like to again reemphasize how we can prevent the spread of COVID-19. Like Dr. has said, wash your hands very well and often to avoid contamination. Cover your mouth and nose with tissue or sleeve of your sleeves when coughing and sneezing. Please discard used tissues immediately. Avoid touching your eyes, your nose, your mouth, or your face generally with whether washed or unwashed hands. Let's be safe out there. We urge you to clean and disinfect frequently yourselves and even touched objects and surfaces. Now, this is CIPM's way of saying, be safe, keep safe, and please take care of yourself within this period. Again, if you have any contributions, please signify by a show of hands and you'll be allowed to talk, or please send in your questions using the Q&A button. Hello, Olamide. We would be giving you the floor now. Please go ahead. Hello, Olamide. Can you hear us?
Okay, yes, I can hear you.
Good afternoon. Please go ahead.
Yeah. Okay, hi, good afternoon. So very quickly, I know since the outbreak of COVID-19, some persons in their personal space have been having one funny symptom or the other. Yeah, not that I want to feel panicked, but since this issue came on board, I've been having headache, and I've also been feeling slightly ill. Okay.
Please go ahead, Olamide. Yes, go ahead.
Okay, so I've been having this headache and running temperature, and I've been trying to stay as positive as possible because I've been staying at home. But what would you advise me to do? Yeah, judging the fact that I know you mentioned earlier that there are some forums where you can go and communicate with WHO. Although, please, I would like you to share those information afterwards. That's how we can communicate with those forums and get valid information on what's going on in the world at large. Yeah? But also, so many people here don't really know how to go about it. If you are not, if you feel there's something wrong, what are the procedures to take? You mentioned that you have to call the Lagos state government and all of that, but honestly speaking, I know of someone that already did that before, and the person did not get an immediate response. The person tried to engage them on Twitter, and even at that, they still did not respond promptly. So I would really appreciate if you can walk everyone listening on this platform on how to manage, because it's as if our system is also reacting to this news. You know, everybody's just suddenly having one funny symptom or the other. Yeah. All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Olamide. Thank you.
Yeah.
Also tell you, if I like, let me just say a real life story. So yesterday morning, I coughed, and then I have 3 children, and I just saw like 6 eyes looking at me. Like I was looking at them like, what is it? Say, Mommy, you're coughing. I said, no. I said, no. I have sputum. I have the one I coughed was the one that I was just using to clear my throat. It's not like, so COVID-19 symptom, the cough has to be dry cough. So it's not like they say, are you sure? Should we bring water for you to drink? Should we? Don't you think you need to just lie down and relax? So, and not, in fact, I didn't even talk about the strategies on how we can also get our children involved. Please, these are also very important. So when you have all these little headaches, mild symptoms like looks like malaria or looks like flu, a lot of times it's just a way of us reacting to all the news and information we are having. It's only if you are privileged to having something in the house that, or you can actually feel that your temperature is really going high and your cough has been on and it's dry cough. You're not spitting or coughing out anything like that catarrh-like thing that we call sputum. And then, of course, when it comes to these numbers, truly, I must also, at this point in time, agree with some of the comments people make with the fact that those lines are difficult to get. I will tell you, they are highly overwhelmed. And that is why some of us are now volunteering and say, look, for reasons that we already know that they will be overwhelmed, cry out for volunteers who are good in this field so that people that will come in will know the rules of engagement. So if you are going to go in as a volunteer, are you volunteering in your own house, being safe and answering calls and directing? Or are you going to be in a particular call center? That means you may not be able to go anywhere until after some certain number of days, so that people can be answered promptly, people can be directed to where they are supposed to go. And also, if you can alleviate people's fears, help them. Because the truth is that some of these calls Some people are so mischievous. I can tell you some of the people I speak to on these centers, they will tell you that people don't. I just called you to ask you how you are doing. Oh, you are a girl. Are you married? I want a wife. Oh, can you imagine? We joke about things that there's a serious issue. People are joking about it. Why would you want to joke about you want to marry a wife in this COVID-19 pandemic? Instead to just go straight to the point. So sometimes those things are those are some of the circumstances that your call may be coming in and it's not reaching them because somebody else is just holding down the line that doesn't really need help. We need to talk to ourselves. So please, if you are calling the line, keep calling. Engage them on Twitter. Get them, send them DMs. The WHO number on WhatsApp, they don't communicate, they just dish out information. They just say, press 2 if you want this, press 1 if you want that. So please, let's help ourselves. And of course, the truth is that some of us, we have this symptom, but they are not strong enough to say you have COVID-19. But if you already know it's escalating, you will know how your body is and how you feel. You are not looking at that fever that you will start dripping sweat. No, you will know. So please, COSAP. And of course, if you have a travel history or you have been in contact or exposed to anyone that has been in contact or confirmed case, scream it out and get yourself tested so that it can reduce your own anxiety and sleeplessness. Because for those banks that they called out now, some people are not saying, are you sure it wasn't that day I went to the bank? They are not trying to align with it, even if they didn't go to that bank for that period. So please, let's understand that there's fear in the air. And is it normal? Please, yes. We are going through a phase. It's pandemic. It's a global issue. Is it okay to be fearful? Please, no, it's a normal reaction to this period. It's only if this fear is not escalating. It's only if this fear, you are now affecting your day-to-day activities. It's only if this fear is now making you have poor interpersonal relationship with people around you. It's only if this fear is now affecting your normal biological clock of not sleeping well, your appetite or your eating pattern has also changed. It's now making you almost paranoid. It's not making you feel everything that is white is now black. That is the time to seek for help. So please do understand that we are all afraid. It is normal. It is scary because you don't know who you have touched, you don't know who you have hugged, that they will not tell you that the person is now positive. But please, if you are calling the lines, keep calling, call them out on Twitter, send them DM. I think there are WhatsApp numbers that are going to be opened up now. And more volunteers are coming on board to help out, and having those counseling helplines are some of the things, like for our organization, those are the things we are deploying as from tomorrow now. To say, okay, apart from the fact we are doing EAP for some companies, can we also help with helplines for some people that genuinely we need to just talk to somebody who just tell them, look, it's okay not to be okay at times. It's just, those are the things that people really need. That support, checking up on one another is very key.
Much, Ma. To Olamide, I would say, I think the best thing you can do for now is to visit your local health center first, just to be sure. You shouldn't assume at this point that it is COVID-19, but then I'm not a medical expert, but I just think the best thing you should do first is visit your local health center, let them do a proper diagnosis first before you begin to entertain fear. Thank you so much, Doctor. Thank you so much.
She's able to visit our local health person. She has a primary healthcare physician. Most of us are under HMOs. You can call them, run down what you have. They can do this kind of teleconferencing with you and all that. And then they can ask you, okay, we'll come and let's take your blood sample. And they just run the test just for you to be sure that it's not COVID-19. Because the moment you start thinking it's COVID-19, I can bet you are activating, there's a part of the brain we call reticular activating system. You are now activating it. So everything around you, everything people say around you, everything you see is all going to be COVID-19. It's just the way people say, I want to buy a brand new white Mercedes. believe you me, there were a lot of white Mercedes before, but all of a sudden, every car around you is now white, and it's Mercedes. So that there's a part of the brain, the RAS, reticular activating system. So if you start thinking that way, your whole thinking, your thoughts, your processes, you will start seeing everything and seeing that the symptoms you have are aligning with COVID-19. So please, visiting your primary healthcare physicians now is very essential, because these people, they are essential services. They are not supposed to shut down. So they can help you alleviate your fears, rule out the other, what we call differential diagnosis. It's only if they not tell you a testing for COVID-19, then you cannot go. But please, let's not allow the fear kill us, because even the DG for World Health Organization has said that fear is what will kill us, not the COVID-19. People are already aligned that to, they're internalizing that, and it's affecting their health already. So please, your primary healthcare physicians, they are on standby. They will not close their essential services, and of course, take precautionary measures if you have to. No, now eventually go to the hospital. Social distancing, washing your hands, making sure you are not touching things and placing your hands in places, all that must be put into consideration.
Thank you for that response. In the course of your discussion, you mentioned something around employee assistance program.
Yes, please.
Yes, so we have a question here that says, how do organizations that don't have this in place set up an EAP, especially to address this crisis?
So that employee assistance program is like a process. Luckily, we have it already registered in Nigeria. Since 2014 or 15, it's now registered with the CAC. So it's not like it's a service that people don't, it's for quacks. And we have people already deploying such services to organizations. So what essentially it means is that it's synonymous with confidentiality. It's to help in trial periods like this. So what it does for the for any organization, especially with the HR, because most other employees don't believe that HR are also employees. They don't believe that HR, is him that sent me letter, is him that sacked me, is him that did this. They don't also believe. So it helps the HR also manage their own stress, so that when that is deployed into the organization. So this is the way it can be deployed. It can be deployed as an internal EAP provider or as an external. Sometimes it can be hybrid. So you can have somebody in-house running the service for you. Like how people have legal lawyers in-house, but they don't go to court. If they need to go to court, they will not get somebody outside to represent the company. Or you can get an external EAP provider who is doing it on their own, knows what to do, has set up a call center whereby for telephonic counseling, there are people there 24/7 that answer your call. So even if it's 1 a.m., you want to talk to somebody, somebody is there answering your call and helping you deal with it. Or you can do the hybrid, somebody in, and if for any reason it's more than what you think it is, you can refer to the people out. So the EAP service provider is like a middle point, whereby if it's finance issue that you are dealing with, there's a finance person they will recommend you to. If it is a legal issue, they will recommend you to a lawyer. If it's an emotional issue, they will deal with it. If the EAP service provider is a psychologist and your case may need medication, they will refer you to a psychiatrist who will now see you, make a diagnosis and give you medication. So for us in Pinnacle Medical Services, we are in a way able to help some organizations already deploy these services, and we are external. So no organization has ever asked us to help them bring somebody in-house to help them. We are external to this organization. Designated phone numbers are sent to this organization and designated email numbers. So if it is CIPM, it will be eap@cipm@pinnaclemedicalservices.com.ng. So that any email that comes from that, we know it is for strictly CIPM and we don't mix it up with any other company. For the telephonic, we keep saying it's 24/7. So there's no limit to what it is. Sadly, it should have been toll-free lines, but we have not had that alliance with telecoms company to be able to make it toll-free lines. That is the only sad thing. The only people that can use it that is toll-free are smaller SMEs that just have like 20 or 30 employees, and they're able to do CUG lines. So with the CUG lines with us, and they also have CUG line, they can call and discuss without money coming out of their pocket. And of course, sometimes the case may warrant a face-to-face intervention. So for example, if it involves issue of domestic violence and it's the man that is the woman that called in or the man that called in, we will need the other party to also come in. It may not even be domestic violence, it may just be the issue of you not sleeping well. You have done the telephonic counseling and it's not working. We will say, come in. Let us even observe the non-verbal communication. It may just be that it's not something there that you never said during the telephony. So we can then help you make those adjustments and all that. So it's a whole lot when it comes to EAP, and the benefits are there accrued to the organization. So it's not just only telephonic and face-to-face. It involves health seminars that are already being, that you don't need to pay for. It involves newsletters that helps the HR to send out information to the other members of the organization. So when you send that to the HR, they customize it into what they have in the organization and send it via intranet to other employees. Like this COVID-19, for companies we work with, we first send them things that can keep them mentally okay while dealing with the COVID-19. So generally, that is what EAP is. There are other people that also have deployed, that can also deploy these services around the country. And the beauty about EAP is that if, for us that we are in Lagos, if it's a case that's happening at Abakaliki or Maiduguri, there are affiliates there that we can easily recommend you to, as against us having you to come down. That stress is taken out. That lack of who will I talk to is not there. There are verifiable affiliates that you have taken the details that you can say, this is the person that you should go and meet. And then of course the report to be sent to us and we can send it to the organization. So the beauty about it overall is that it helps the organization build up cases that they can look into internally. So for example, we send a report to the organization January, February, March, and we discover that most of the complaints are due to financial issues. And this organization may not be a financial institution. We let the organization know this has been a recurring decimal. Can you look into these challenges? And of course, it's not like the employer is going to increase salary, but it's not going to look at why are they complaining about financial challenges? How can we help them build financial literacy and financial wealth as against that reporting? Likewise, issues with domestic violence or relationship challenges. It just helps the organization look at those things that are not telling you, but it's impacting your bottom line, and the productivity of the employees is not felt. And of course, that is a resultant poor in profitability. So generally, employee assistance program is a support service for any organization.
Thank you so much, Ma. Unfortunately, we've used up our time, but we're going to run through some of these questions. I'd just like that you please try to keep the responses a bit shorter. Yes, Ma. So one of the questions is that how do we support employees who already have cardiac-related health issues? How do we help them to stop deterioration due to isolation or stay at home?
Okay. So that one, I would tell you, please, that person, if he already has a cardiac issue, your primary healthcare physician, if you don't have, the best experts for cardiac issues are the cardiologists. So we have cardiac centers. They are essential services. They are not going to close. Please, even if there's a lockdown, there are essential services like hospitals are not going to shut down. So please, why you call out? So there are numbers most times they have online, or you know somebody who knows them, and all that. Call them and tell them this is what is wrong with you if you don't want to go. Maybe thinking that all is not that bad. With the symptoms you will highlight for them, they will tell you come in, or they will tell you stay there, we are coming to pick you. Because we, even as it is now, we are all gearing up in making sure that doctors and nurses and other healthcare workers are going to work. We have the protective gear to make sure that the kit rather, to make sure that we are not going to infect somebody and somebody else will not infect us, because it's very, very possible for that to happen. People that weren't having that challenge in the hospital, because the staff coming in and out, they are infected and they come to infect the people in the hospital. So please don't take cardiac issues lightly. They are silent killers. Cardiac arrest can happen. Transient ischemic attack, heart failure can happen. This is the best time to get to a specialist, get properly evaluated, and of course, there are medications they can give you that you'll be fine. The good news about that, it is treatable. It is treatable.
Thank you so much, ma'am. So another one here says, my question is about finances. How can you control your emotions at this period when businesses are shutting down and money is stagnant? Though some businesses are flourishing now, but some other businesses have come to a halt because of the pandemic crisis. How then can I manage my emotions?
So I keep saying, I'm talking about how what is within your control, they are your emotions. What is not within your control is this lockdown that we are currently having, that you do not have control. You cannot tell government not to lock down. In fact, realistically, yes, some businesses may thrive now, some businesses may not thrive. This is a time for total reflection. This is a time for you to also think about what else I need to diversify. So now I know that I'm doing this business, this period has impacted negatively on me, and I didn't make any money. So maybe diversification and rerouting my business into other things may work better. Please, people shouldn't see this as a death sentence, because the fear that people are having is worse than the illness or the pandemic itself. That can really erode into our holistic wellness, and then you just see people just emaciating for no reason, even if they are eating, they are not sleeping well, and they can now have a mental illness. No, see it as a part of, as a crisis in your business that you are trying to also deal with. See, look at ways you can now leverage on technology after this pandemic. Look at innovative ways you can do things better. Sit down, brainstorm with accountability partners, then brainstorm with other people. Look at other businesses that are in your own sphere, how they are also doing. Are you going the same boat together, or they are doing something differently? Try to also look at it. It's a competition, but the sky can accommodate all of us. So please, don't let this period, because of finance, because if we all think about finance, is it not who is alive that will be able to make money? We need to tell ourselves that and tell ourselves the truth. It's if you are alive that you can make money. So if you allow the pandemic to kill you with the fear, if you are not alive, how would the money come? So use this time to restructure a lot of things internally, diversification, other streams of income, and all what you need to be in a better place after this crisis.
Thank you so much, Ma. How does someone survive emotional abuse and domestic terrorism in the house during this stay-at-home period?
I think I've answered this question. I didn't know this question was coming. I was saying that the truth is that this is a time for us to, if I want to use the Nigerian way of how people express themselves, to receive sense. The truth is, some of us cannot tolerate our partners. That one is not something that anyone is telling you, listening or out there. You know that you are in a toxic relationship. Lockdown, you'll be in a hostile environment. This is the time for you to find peace. This is time for you to find how you can survive. This is the time for you to find where you can stay and have that peace of. So don't look at it that because I have, so especially for those that if it's a woman, because of children, say, because of my children, it's meant to, I have to still be in this house. If you die before the crisis ends, like I keep saying, your children already have one predisposing risk factor. So you have to know how to work this out. And there are two ways. Either you go to where you know you will have peace, or you stay and talk things out and find, and if you see that talking things out has never helped, and you've done even therapy, it has never helped, but you are just cohabiting, and this lockdown may not help matters, find where you can get your peace of mind. it is your problem. It is not your sister's problem. It is not a Nigerian problem. Neither is it a global problem. It is your sanity. It is your safety. You have to take responsibility and do the right things to keep healthy, wealthy, and happy. So that at the end of the day, you will come out stronger. Not going to a place where you know that there won't be peace. And if there's any reason there is fight, because of social distancing, your neighbors that used to come before will not come. We need to understand that this is a reality. Nobody will want to leave their house because they say, we don't know if you want to kill the wild, I don't want to get involved. They are saying we should do social distancing. Neighbors will not come ahead. So please, let us take our well-being into our hands. Let's take that bold step in ensuring that this period we are healthy, we are wealthy, and we are happy with certain things, even if not everything. But we come out, we are like, I can remember in 2020, March, SY, when this was what happened. Not that, I remember in March, that was when my mother died because of domestic violence during COVID-19. That can never change. So please, this is it. This is what I have to say in this, because it's a reality, and we know some people are going to be in this precarious situation, whether it's the wife or the husband. So it's not only the wives that are in this kind of difficult situation. The husbands too. Some of them are also dying in silence. And but for the fact that they are men don't cry. Men shouldn't express their emotion. Some men are just dying. So please, this is the time to take care of yourself, because your sanity matters the most, and you should guard it fiercely. So right.
Thank you so much, Ma. Just before we round off, one very last question, and I think it applies to nearly everyone. How do we manage neighbors that insist that they want to bring their kids into your apartment, especially in houses where you have more than 5 people living in the same compound? And in a way to avoid creating issues for ourselves, how do we manage this situation?
So that happened to me some days ago when somebody came knocking on my door. She wanted to talk to my 16-year-old. They are not supposed to be at home. They're supposed to be in school for their WAEC. So automatically, because of school shut down now, she's not at home. We are happy because we're not supposed to see her till May. And somebody came knocking, and we say, who was that? I said, no, please go to your house. There's what they call social distancing. Go to your house. We are doing self-quarantine. Don't shout, oh. Don't also use the opportunity to educate the people from your window. See, this is the time to be extra. See, there are certain things that people think, they say, if I say it will severe the relationship. If you have the virus, then what happens to the relationship? Is it not still going to be severe? This is the time to also know the information you have. Let the person know. You are not driving you away. But can we connect? I told them, go and connect on your WhatsApp and your online. You have internet. And I say, yes, I'm my auntie. I say, good. So go home, man. Make sure you wash your hands. For now, we are self-isolating, self-quarantine, and we are not. It's no longer news. It's everywhere. So there's only like your children will come and what do I call it now? Play with my children. Let it be after 2 weeks so that you know that they are fine, you are fine, then you can talk. That's it, self-quarantine, because most of us don't even know where these children are being, where their parents are being. Children are very innocent, but their parents, they go everywhere. They're the ones that go to the banks, the market, the workplaces, and then if they come home, these children are likely to be affected. Then because they are innocent, let us allow the children, let everybody begin to start knowing how to play Ludo, what are you, and whatever it is. Let us be in our own house, be in your own house. It is fine. Truly, we need to let everybody understand that if it's a lockdown, it's not the time to start, my neighbor, good morning, you say it from a distance, but be in your house. I think it's not a bad thing. You should just be able to put it across in a nice way that it's not that you are not friends, but it's good that we all self-quarantine at least the 14 days, so that if any symptoms, we are able to know. So my daughter just came back from school, so I don't know which 14 days, 20. The benefits, not letting them know that don't enter my house. It's a benefit you put to them, letting them know that it's a huge benefit because you don't know what I've been exposed to. So I don't want to get you infected.
Thank you so much, Dr. Maimuna Kadri. It has indeed been a very interesting 1 hour and 40 minutes, irrespective of what network was trying to achieve. Again, on behalf of the Institute, on behalf of the CEO, I'd like to say a very big thank you to you for honoring our invitation. I'd also want to appreciate everyone that is online. Thank you for your contributions. Thank you for your questions. Thank you for the very interactive chat room that we have today. And on the final note, and in the words of Dr. Kadri Maimuna, I'd like to say stay healthy, stay wealthy, and stay happy this period. Thank you, everyone, and see you next month. Have a good evening.
Thank you, everyone.